It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and I am back in my backyard garden. It is approaching the middle of August here in San Diego, and this is the hottest spot microclimatically in my yard. And this time of year, it's always rough. So in the past, I have tried to mound and do intricate tapestries here. They've always looked terrible in the summer. So over time, I have reduced the amount of plants that I have put here. This agave sunglow has been a winner chicken dinner. I put this in as a little 10-inch pot a few years ago, and it has done spectacularly well here. But it's not enough. I don't just want one plant. So as if the fact that it's really hot isn't enough, while I was gone, a certain dog rebelled by peeing here. I mean, honestly, right now, the smell of wafting dog urine is about to knock me out. So that makes me sad. That is part of the problem here with why these plants look so bad. Also, a gopher decided to join the party, and this morning I cleaned up a great big mound of dirt right here. It tore through my diamondia and exposed the roots of my sunglow. And so this is just not acceptable. I can't have it. So my solution to the situation was first to go around the yard and find some cuttings out and pull some cuttings out of the garden of the death that have been literally sitting around for months.
So are they cuttings?
They are cuttings. I mean, they're starting to throw off air roots. They have been hardened off for months. They're as tough as nails. If they haven't died by now, they're not going to. So I feel pretty good filling in this area with these plants. We've got aloes. We've got a few agave quadricolor. Here's another miscellaneous aloe that's, you know, just tough and hard. I don't even know the story behind some of these plants, but they must have made it onto the truck from a job, you know, or something. So what I'm going to do is just limb off the dead leaves so it looks nice. Look at this little aloe cameronii cutting. It's starting to turn that really deep blood red. Love this plant. Here's another quadricolor, and then there's some poor desiccated ghosties that are starting to throw off some air roots. We all know how tough ghosties are. And these guys, these sedum firestorm, where they look terrible, I know that they're going to survive. I know that they're going to be okay. And I still really enjoy the orange color. This Echeveria avogoides lipstick has defied all expectations. Look how good this plant still looks, despite being hammered with heat, despite being peed on by the dog, despite being bullied by the gopher. It's still standing proud and even throwing off babies. So go agave, or rather Echeveria agavoides. Then these I threw in as cuttings in the spring, and you can see some root activity there. They haven't really latched yet, but you know, when these get heat stress, you can't really tell. I mean, they turn colors, but they don't look that bad. So I'm just going to pull off the dead leaves. Oh my gosh, this is a little Crassula ovata. It's the same as this. Probably just took the majority of Bentley's bladder. I'm just going to say a prayer for that and send it to be with Jesus. This little Noblesse, just literally laying on the top of the ground. You can see it's throwing off some roots. So that's great. So here I am cleaning up this area, making decisions, deciding what stays, what goes, what, if anything, I can add. I'm going to go ahead and pack this in a little deeper, give it more of a chance. I don't know what disrupted it with the roots on that. Maybe the gopher. I think I'm just going to blame the gopher for everything at this point. I'm so annoyed. Okay.
Would walk all over that and pee all over it too.
Oh, Hannah said that Bentley was walking all over this arrangement and peeing on it. And you didn't stop him, Hannah Margaret? You didn't send him back to his little beautiful pee pad? No comment from the peanut gallery, okay? Well, Mama's home now. Gosh darn it. Okay, so I'm just filling this back in, scratching up the surface. My idea and my goal is just to fluff this area out. Will this be a permanent arrangement? That depends on how it weathers, how it looks, how it does over the next few months. I don't want to detract from my sun glow because that's my thriller. But it just never looked right to have her standing by herself. I always felt like I needed a little something something to supplement. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just throwing things in to fluff this area up. Now these agave quadricolors, can get really, really big. So I'm not going to leave these here forever, but I also know that they're tough, almost like plastic, and that they will survive the heat over the next couple of months in this spot in the garden. So if you've got some leftover tough stuff just loitering around, tuck it in. Think of this as a temporary thing, if nothing else. Just fluff it up. Smoke and mirrors. These little ghosties, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm not going to throw them away, but I'm going to put them back in the Garden of Death where they can regenerate because they just don't make the cut. They don't look good enough to be in the garden proper. So off they go. Here's another little aloe that I can tuck in. Okay, now I'm going to go over here and trim these roots that the gophers exposed. It won't hurt the plant at all. And I just don't want those roots showing. And in the winter, this Diamondia will also fill back into all these gaps. I have no worries about that. So I could say, all right, yay me, I did it. But I'm not done because I see dirt and you know how I feel about that. So I rattled around in the garage and lo and behold, I found a bag of burgundy 3/4 inch lava, and I think that is going to look really good to fill in the blanks and finish this off. It is amazing what a $6 bag of rock and a few cuttings can do to liven up an area. Now you note I didn't water those plants in. I simply rinsed them off because rinsing makes me happy. Look at how shiny and clean a little rinsing makes everything look. And remember, it's going to be a long couple of months of heat right here. And if this doesn't work, if these plants for any reason start to look bad, I can always pull them out, move them around, try something else. That's the beauty of succulents. They're not permanent. You can always move them from one place in the garden to another. So I encourage you to find a really challenging spot in your garden today. If you are on this side of the hemisphere where it is summer and it is getting hot, and mess around with some tough agaves or aloes or anything in your garden that may have hardened off. Add a little bit of rock, add a little bit of bling, and see if you can't tighten up an area so that you can enjoy it over the next couple of months. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, reporting from my backyard with a hot weather challenge and your succulent tip of the day.